E3 2021 is approaching so fast. One of the best time of the year for gamers is less than a month away, starting on June 12 and ending on June 15. There's many games that we know are gonna make an appearance or that we simply think will show up. For example, Starfield, Halo Infinite, Battlefield 6, Far Cry 6 and much more. We know they will show up, or at least we thought about them already. Now what about the really secret games that we do not expect? This is what this channel is all about, and this video will be centered on these games today, so let's get into it right away. First off, we have a game that recently leaked out of nowhere thanks to industry insiders, and they're telling us it'll be officially revealed at E3 2021. The game is called Omen. It is an extremely dark action vampire project being made by Arkane Studios, creators of Dishonored and Prey. This was one of the most secretive games until now, and it's been reportedly leaked, saying a full reveal will be at this year's E3. First off, let me just say that vampire games are still heavily underrated in my opinion, and if real, this project came at the right time. Earlier this year, job listings suggested that Arkane Studios' Austin team, who developed Prey and Dishonored, were working on a new fantasy IP. Now some new details on whatever this new project is have potentially emerged, and the game's apparently closer to launch than you'd expect. Arkane Austin's new IP is apparently called Omen, or its working title at least, and has vampires with a dark and eerie setting. The game apparently has spring 2022 target launch window and will allegedly be revealed at E3 next month, with what's said to be a CGI trailer. Arkane is also working on Deathloop, which is publicly known, but this project right here is also in the works. Let me know if you're excited. Next up, we have the upcoming open-world Avatar game from Ubisoft Massive, creators of The Division. This upcoming game is Massive's next major project at the moment, yet we do not know anything about it since its announcement literally 4 years ago. What we do know now is a reveal of some sort needs to happen at E3, or at least in the coming months. Ubisoft has officially confirmed its upcoming Avatar game will be releasing sometime in 2022, which would make it arrive in the same year as James Cameron's Avatar 2 movie in theaters. They want to release both projects a little bit close so it makes the most money, of course. Now that we're maybe a year away from the game's release, a reveal at E3 next month on June 12 would be perfect in any shape or form. It doesn't even need to be a gameplay trailer, just show us something so we know it is being taken care of. Not much is known about the gameplay at the moment. Massive developers are interested in creating an immersive version of Pandora where players can live an alternate life on the moon. Job listings on Massive's website indicate open world and online elements will be in the game. The game will expand on the Avatar universe in new and exciting ways alongside the upcoming sequel films. Next up, we have the upcoming Metro multiplayer and single player game. Yes, you've heard that right. An upcoming multiplayer project in the Metro universe is in the work as we speak, and at the time of the announcement, it was already in development. I would really hope, but maybe it's a bit too early for that, to see a little something at this year's E3, maybe a teaser trailer of some kind. 4A Games has announced that its next game in the Metro series will offer both single player and multiplayer options. The new game being developed by the studio is being built for next-gen consoles and PC only, and will include a complete overhaul of the system's engine and renderer, taking advantage of the new power, storage, and hardware-supported ray tracing delivered by the new consoles. The company, however, has clarified that we're not looking at multiplayer as a box-ticking exercise, or to jump on some trend or bandwagon. As creators, we wanted to explore a multiplayer experience that makes complete sense in the Metro universe. Whatever this game is, seeing some kind of multiplayer element into a Metro game would definitely be interesting. Maybe some kind of survival co-op mode with friends or something of the sort. We'll have to see for that later on. Next up, we have Ken Levine's new game. Ken, which is the creator of Bioshock, which has now formed its very own studio to work on an ambitious, player-driven, highly replayable game. I'm saying this pretty much every gaming event, but this game has to be revealed soon. This year's E3 would be the perfect time to see our first look at it, since it has been confirmed in October of last year to be in the late stages of development. The game from Levine's Ghost Story Game Studio is an unannounced immersive sci-fi game with RPG elements, and it claims claims that the title is being created by a team of less than 35 people, which is said to be operating under a flat structure so that every opinion counts. In the 6 years since, very little has been revealed about Ghost Story debut project, other than that it features narrative Legos, which Levine has said will combine to create a player-driven, highly replayable game again. I can't really talk about the new game, but there's some weird shit in it, he said. I think if you don't have people saying that sounds a little insane, you haven't gone close enough to the edge, because the great stuff exists on the edge of over the top and just okay, and sometimes you've got to push past the point and make something outrageous and ridiculous, then pull it back, he said. It's also said this game will be using a system inspired by Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor's Nemesis system, where everyone remembers absolutely everything you said or done, and it will impact the game's story and world. Let me know if you're excited. Next up we have Witchfire. Omen is this game a long-awaited of mine. Announced more than 3 years ago at the Game Awards in December, Witchfire hasn't had any major reveal since, but having followed the game's development throughout the years to now, I can say it has evolved so much and is definitely in the late stages of development, hopefully. Seeing a new reveal at this year's Expo is 100% a possibility, and I hope they at least think about it. In Witchfire, players will be able to combat the numerous evils that plagues these digital lands with a combination of firearms and magic. As a deadly instrument of the church, you are tasked with eradicating witches from the land while discovering what is really happening in this world. Doing so will not be nearly as easy as it sounds, as Witchfire is not actually a narrative-driven game. Instead, you must often discover your own answers in this open-ended title that's true nature hasn't yet been revealed by the development team. Fortunately, you will be able to enjoy many stunning vistas and jaw-dropping enemies as you make your way through this strange world that no good entities survived. It is up to you to destroy the darkness. Next up we have Embark's first game from ex-DICE developers who worked on Battlefield 3, 4 and 1. Embark Studios' first game has been officially teased just a little bit of time ago in late 2020 with a small gameplay teaser, and people have been really excited since then. Since the studio confirmed they will reveal more about this unnamed project soon, it's normal we're thinking about E3, so hopefully it'll be there. While the footage Embark shows off in a recent blog update is brief, it gives us a good idea for what we can expect from this unnamed game, showing a devastating artillery strike and a gorgeous large-scale photorealistic map. The concept for the game is set to lean heavily into team-based gameplay and puts dynamism, physicality, and destruction front and center. First, this game was said to be a free-to-play cooperative game, but then the developers said the PvP element was too irresistible to ignore, which might mean they've switched or added both modes. Whether the game is still free-to-play or not, we don't know yet, but I'm expecting some kind of reveal soon. Next up we have Dead Island 2, a game that was announced such a long time ago, almost 7 years now, and still hasn't released or had a proper reveal. The game switched developers on and on for years and finally found its studio just almost 3 years ago, which are the creators of Homefront: The Revolution, Dambuster Studios. The game's Twitter over the last months kept confirming the game was in heavy development and that it is still very much alive, yet we did not have any kind of reveal. Since Deep Silver will be present at E3 2021, I'm really hoping we see something from it. Even though Dying Light kind of took the throne in zombie experience, I'm still really hyped for this project and hoping for the best. The game's main storyline is set several months after the events of Dead Island and Escape Dead Island. Unlike its predecessors, which took place on islands as the title states, Dead Island 2 takes place in various locations in beautiful California and will include vehicles, co-op, and many weapons to take on the dead. Finally, we have Titanfall 3, a long-awaited game for so many people out there, and I totally understand that. Titanfall 2 is one of the most underrated games there is, and it's only recently that so many people are discovering it. With Respawn Entertainment acknowledging the Titanfall series and hinting on and on about a third sequel, EA Play and E3 2021 is no doubt a perfect time to announce at least this sequel. Titanfall 3 may be in development and it may be releasing next year. Just months ago, EA recently revealed that it is up to Respawn Entertainment if a Titanfall 3 is made, which in turn gave fans of the first-person shooter series hope that a third game may one day be made. Talking to Twitter, industry insider and leaker Tom Anderson, best known for his massive leaks on both Call of Duty and most recently Battlefield 6, seemingly teased that Titanfall 3 is releasing next year. In a recent tweet, Anderson shared 4 games he thinks should release next year. One of these games is Starfield, one is Skull and Bones, another is Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, and the final one is Titanfall 3. That said, Respawn is also working on a brand new IP and Jedi Fallen Order 2, so we don't know which will come out first and which will be the last between these 3 games. Alright guys, that is all for today's video. If you'd like to see a part 2 of secret games that could be revealed, make sure you subscribe to stay tuned. I'll talk to you all very soon. Thanks to Richard Westfall, Bruce Rain 236, Thunderbeard, Kianzo Fagari, Rickno23, Diamond Hunter 45, Themistocles, Space Beer Gaming, and Rash Singbati for being a master member on the channel. You can become a Survivor member for as low as 99 cents only by clicking the join button below. This will support me and the channel as a whole to continue making videos on the games that truly deserve it.